Hi, Christina Brown here with the Brown team at eXp Realty. Our topic today is, does proper pricing matter? If you're looking to price your home, to put it on the market, you're wanting to list it, sell it, does pricing it right matter? Yes, the answer is an overwhelmingly yes. Pricing always matters, but especially more now than earlier in the year this year. Why does pricing matter? Well, you have to remember that buyers are savvy. Buyers are out and they are looking, or they've already looked, at all of your competition. They know how much everybody's asking. They know what the homes look like. They've actually been inside the homes. So they are the most savvy, the most educated, and they are just comparing yours to everything else that they're seeing. So you have to keep that in mind. Pricing absolutely matters. Why does pricing matter? Well, it is typically the most important factor in selling a home, and it's also going to determine if you can sell for the highest price possible in the least amount of time. We always say that that's our goal. Your property has to be right in the price that you put it at in order to draw eyeballs to it and to be able to stand out in the competition. And you want showings, you want activity, you want people to come in the door. If you're not seeing that, then you need to look at your pricing. That's typically the reason why. So why do we see sellers overpriced? That's another question we get asked a lot. Well, sellers are typically less aware of the changing market and what's happening currently and what the competition is, right? The buyers are the ones out there looking at it, going door to door, and they're non-biased. Sellers are more biased, thinking, we know what we've put into this house, we love this house, we think our house is better than everybody else in the neighborhood. The buyers are the ones that are seeing how the interest rates are giving them more options, giving them more time. The sellers may not necessarily notice that on their end. Another reason sellers overprice is sometimes, I've had sellers say this, they want to leave room to negotiate. You should always price it right. Price it where it's going to sell. Buyers are looking at that number thinking, would I pay that? If not, then I'm probably not going to go look at it. And then the other thing is, we also have sellers base it on how much money they're wanting to walk away with, whether it's for a bigger purchase or because they're trying to recoup what they've put into it. But you can't look at what you want out of your property. You have to truly price it right. So what's that best way of coming up with that proper pricing? Well, the number one thing always that we say is to base it on fair market value. So you have to determine what that is. Typically, your best option is, of course, working with a reputable agent that's knowledgeable in the weeds every day, knows what's happening with the market, knows your neighborhood, and they need to look at what has recently sold, how long things are taking to sell now, what's your competition. You need to get all of that data from our MLS that will allow you to have this information. So you have to determine fair market value, but you also have to see how much your competition's asking for their house and how does yours compare. So pay attention to the competition so you can see if you're pricing it right, because a lot of times that can be very telling. That's what buyers are comparing your home to. And then the other thing is, of course, know the market when it's changing. Again, that's something your agent needs to tell you and help you with. And you need to price your home accordingly. And then consider pricing it right for the internet. What I mean by that is pay attention to those big price brackets. And if you want to list your house for a few thousand over, a big number, consider not doing that. Let the buyers drive it up, because you'll get way more buyers if you price it on one of those big numbers where you're going to get people on both sides. My example is this. Let's say you have a home. It's worth right around $300,000. You could go $302,000. You could do $299,900. Don't do that. I feel like either one of those, you're shooting yourself in the foot and you're limiting the number of searches your home's going to come up for on the internet. So if you price it right at $300,000, you're going to get people looking starting from that number, people looking up to that number. So you're going to get people on all sides, way more eyeballs, way more activity. So just consider that when you're pricing. And then of course, my number one thing is always be realistic. Be realistic of what your home truly looks like, how it shows, does it smell good, what are buyers going to think of it, and the finishes that you've put in there, is it way too personalized? Is it just so unique that it's not going to appeal to the masses? You really have to be realistic. Be realistic on your price, be realistic on the condition. Super, super, super important. So the number one thing is price your property right. If you are looking to sell, yes, proper pricing matters. It always matters, but it really matters now. So if you have questions, you're thinking of selling your house, you want to know what it's worth, reach out. I'm happy to help you. I do that for free for people all the time. Give me a shout. Have a great day.